Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pannonian Avars series here on the Lord Master channel. And before we get down to some business here, I want to say something here. And that is, yes, I am aware that there's this upcoming next DLC for Crusader Kings 3, which will be released on May 31st. Which is a flavor pack, more of it. Which is called Fate of Iberia, which will add changes over there in the Iberian Peninsula. I haven't read all the dev diaries as of yet. I'm not saying at all. I mean, I did read the first part of the announcement, and since I am recording, and I often record, ahead of time, so you could say assume that I've read the second dev diary that came this week. So they're adding the little struggles feature and other significant changes to the Iberian Peninsula, such as, the face there and the culture there. Although, of course, it does not reflect what it currently is now on this timeline of ours. And what else? And so, I would say that's kind of great. Even though I already have a series planned in the future once I'm done with the Avars, which I won't start recording it until June. And originally I predict that this series was to be finished, at least recording wise, by the end of April or the early May. So it might be slightly longer than that. It depends on the circumstances of what could be going on in this episode and the next after. So I would say I probably got like, 10 episodes in me before I decided to, let's put an end to it. Put it to bed, put it to pasture, all those expressions. Because I have become more and more interested, based on the dev diaries, of another thing that I've been reading about, and that is for the rice mod, which is a mod that I'm also using here as of late for the first time in this part of the series, only because of our close proximity to these Greek islands of Rhodos and Samos and Chios, even though Chios is connected to the mainland in Asia Minor, Anatolia. That's only because I just want to add a slightly more flavor to it, since I'm the owner of these islands, of these areas. But it's highly likely now, in my personal opinion. But again, cards subject to change, as they say in show business. Because I've been reading those dev diaries of this upcoming mod, flavor pack for that mod, the Rice mod, which stands for Regional Immersion and Cultural Enrichment, which will add more features and such to the Tarim Basin, particularly in the areas of Khotan and Zizaya. That's where it originated from. And I've noticed that Transoxiana, Sogdian lead, has been expanding this way. Oh no, what's his name? Okay, so he's allied with another one of those countries over there, which they want Georgia back, but it doesn't look like they're gonna get that. In fact, it's been ongoing for 3 years now. All that was next to it, they would take part of it. And plus, they're allied with them. That's the reason why they're joining up like that. What else? And so that's why I think, in my personal opinion, that the next series, which I will start recording in around June, early June, at the earliest estimate, that the next series will likely be in the Tarim Basin, which originally I was going to do a series somewhere in South India, but I feel that up there is kind of more appealing, because I do have quite a bit of interest in the Tarim Basin, the whole Silk Road subject. even when I did those two Crusader Kings 2 Sogdian series back in those days. And speaking of Sogdians, yes, I will do a Sogdian series CK3, which I will only do it as soon as their next flavor pack, which the guy who made the rice mod will eventually work on. We're going to do Tower Basin first. I had a comment on, I posted a comment there talking about like hoping we see, you know, these Sogdian flavor and decisions, you know, kind of like what we saw in that past series I did with them on When the World Stopped Making Sense, with the whole Sogdian Fair and a few other things with them. So he'll add that down the line, far in the future, which could be months from now or it could be a year from now. Who knows? Whatever he's committed to. But until then, one thing's for certain. I'm just going to say this before we finally get on with this episode. No doubt that it'll probably be by the end of April, if not then in May. Well, likely May, I would say. It's going to be around May that he'll release this Tarn Basin flavor pack for the mod before the next flavor pack from Paradox Interactive to be released at the end of May on May 31st. And if Sogdia becomes the next place for that guy to work on for the next flavor pack, then I may have to hold off the recordings even more, because again, me being passionate for Sogdian culture and all that and wanting to do a series on that, especially that I do have a created character in mind that I plan to reintroduce, and as well as me reading out loud the backstory that I came up with it, because that's something I've been doing in my free time as well. I'll give out more details whenever that time comes, which again could be 2 months from now or even up to a year whenever I do a series on them. But until then, the likely series, the next one will be in Tarn Basin somewhere. Culture and dynasty to be determined. While the fate of this empire, this Khaganate, is to be determined. Because look! In 5 months there's to be an ultimatum. If they are all against me, I may have to flee to Crete, just like my father did. Yeah, Khagan Karan, the cancerous Khagan. We may have to flee to Crete again, if that time were to come. Only slowly building up my dread, which I'm going to need that dread right now. Any prisoners to kill? Effects by me? No effects. Executing children will not do either. No. I gotta put this man out of misery. What if I were to torture? Does that mean I get dread? I don't know. And you say it's an impious thing to do? That man's gonna die in the torture. I just need to do something, alright? Even if I have to spend a bit of piety, which I could get that by going on pilgrimage. Let's do it, just for once. You'll see it pop up soon. Because I like to get a little bit of that dread, so that way it'll make those people who are in factions think twice. But there's no way you could get that in 5 months. There's only 3 of them that threaten independence. And please save up your money, because you're going to need it during wartime. What else do I have in mind? I mean, I've already said my piece about the future of the Lord Master channel with Crusader Kings 3. Ah, yes. Eventually, when the dust is settled and when we take care of the factions that want to you know, lower my, God dang it, I am trying to think. If you're wondering what that popping sound was, it's just me slapping my hip, trying to think. I've never seen that one. Once in a lifetime, this character. Oh, I see. We'll think about that in the future. And this thing here, month must be between February and May. Again, this is all Chios related. I have confidants, and before he became a Khagan, he sometimes enjoys listening to songbirds. So I can listen it whenever I wish, whenever I lower my stress. I think out of desperation may have to hold a grand feast, which fortunately it's cheaper nowadays because I recently... No, not that screen. Which I recently picked a legacy. Which is, no, not that one. Law, there you go. Mostly fair. Lowers the hunted feast cost. It's not a good choice in my personal opinion, but it's a necessity. I mean, I thought about keeping this up all the way, you know, just that cosmopolitan empire that we've become these days. And soon I'll be fabled. And after that, legendary. And don't forget that I will be a family man. Which sooner or later, as I'm married to this Alexandretan, who is lustful but vengeful. But just to make sure that she doesn't, you know, doesn't have any other lovers, your only lover shall be me. In the meantime, I'll start my seduction scheme with her. Because I know her being lustful, which means she is more likely to cheat on me, so I will prevent that from doing so by saying, no, you fall in love with me, and me only. Plus, I look kind of interesting, where I'm wearing Byzantine clothing, but the crown is Eurasian steppe. I've been thinking about Sicilian Serbia. Because knowing I'm a man of diplomacy, like if I was to have the defense negotiations, I would like to have that with Serbia. That would be a good backup if we were to fight wars against Byzantine Empire. I mean, I've not been interested in, you know, taking Serbia for myself. I'd rather keep it independent. Because there's still some use for these guys. Even though they're under Sicilian dynasty. So let's hold a grand feast. This may increase my vassal's opinion of me while subsequently lose all the stress. So this will be the only big money that I'll spend. So we just hope it'll convince some of the faction members to, you know, get them out of here. So we'll see who's in and who's not. These rats might seem shy, I say as I strap the bucket to Saurik's exposed chest. But once it gets warm in there, they will do anything to escape. Luckily for them, their teeth are very sharp. He pleads for mercy as I reach for the glowing coals. It had to be done. He's been very, very tortured. So tortured that he could be just near death. Okay, so dukes, mayors, counts. My wife is there. Again, my mouse wheel isn't the best. So that's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody. And those that declined, let's give him recognition. He's a faction member. So is he. Not that one. Faction member. Not a faction member, but he's a duke that still makes me... Actually, he's a member of Independence, now that I thought about it. He's also an independent faction mayor. Liberty faction member. Leader of the Liberty faction. In fact, that's all that they declined. So that means we will not prevent this faction from occurring. But those that did join, in fact, look at it one more time. You joined, at the least. Not a faction member. Not a faction member. Mayor. Mayor. Faction member. Not a faction member. Mayor. Mayor. My wife. Faction member. Faction member. Not a faction member. Mayor. Not a faction member. Faction member. This is the last one. Okay, we got it. This feast will begin, even though it's gonna not go well. Collateral damage. I barely managed to sit down at my seat when I hear a howl emanating from Khatun. Ilya. He's receiving a proper woman handling from Patia. Too late I realized that martial dance made its way to straight through the sturdy golden legend. Most of my guards separated to hissing and clawing each other. The duel presented in front of me while all throwing blame on one another, starting to fight. These things happen. It wasn't my favorite piece. I'll lose the dread, which I have very little of. But I'll be a benevolent ruler, so let him off the hook. Especially that my wife will like me a little more. Yeah. So it'll be easier for the seduction scheme, to make it guaranteed that you'll seduce her. As the feast is underway, our guests are eating, drinking. Khan Togan, which is my son who's been disfigured. Flagellant, unfortunately. So I would say, yes, I have done a great job, haven't I? Did I say son? I mean brother. Also, fix direct vassal. Actually, she deserves all the credit. My mistake. So I'd like to have children of my own. Keep the line of geniuses going. My guests here in my castle, the entire contents of my vast pantry of their bellies. I'm proud to say that the feast was a success. I have my wife to thank much as success and feel nothing but gratitude less with you guests off. Until next time. Every guest that came here liked me a little more for hosting that feast. But unfortunately, it's not enough. War will be coming, and I may have to flee to Crete. Not funding that. You mentioned Serbia. Hey, Serbia. You got any sons that are unbetrothed? You may not like this idea because of the age difference. Will not accept because marrying down will splendor. The king is impressed with my royal court. It's not gonna work. Oh, she's a nun. Fornicator. Guess an alliance with Serbia is unlikely. It's all because of that damn age difference. The other alternative is my blatant sister. Actually, that one we'll accept. It may be vastly inferior in our eyes, but hey, it'll help us out. You did want an alliance with Serbia, just for being neighbors and add protection to it, but that's because when that big old faction war breaks out, Serbia will help us out. If they're not busy with fighting against my vassal. And whatever you need, our knights will be there. I was about to say, who owns these? You know, if I had my druthers, I would like to, you know, give these to Serbia as a part of goodwill, but I can't do that. You can't give away counties to other countries. The game doesn't work like that. This isn't EU4 where you sell with provinces. And of course, do not forget that in 5 years' time, we'll have more development growth. Yeah. Well, this is it. There's gonna be a Liberty War, and I ain't gonna like it. Took you a while to die in the dungeons, you goddamn loony. The gift of labor. Everyone appreciates a gift. Perhaps I could come up with something truly unique that will make a real impression on the Khatan. You are an antagonist, so I'm not sure. Physical pleasures of life. Well, you are lustful. So commission poetry on joys of life dedicated to her. Thank you so much for the poem on the joys of life you give me. I could scarce remember the last time I received such a wonderful gift. Anything for you. Anything for you. Anytime now. Actually, there is one way. I already gave her away. Sauerkraut. Not married. I'll just say, hey, we need to break that faction apart. Unfortunately, my goodness, I don't know any of the languages other than my own. I just realized that now. You know what? I like to learn the Serbo-Croatian language through you. Oh, excuse me, Italian Vulgar. Again, they're Sicilians, not Serbian. But it's possible he may form the Serbo-Sicilian or Sicilo-Serbian. Whatever. Here we go. Get the hell out of the mainland and get to Crete. A place to retreat. In case if they go on the offensive towards me. Think. Here it is. Move realm capital here. I will not be threatened. There, everybody's joined. Okay. Oh my god. What have you got yourself into? Do I even have to look at the map of who's in revolt? Large segments of the Khaganate. Remember, nobody's going independent. This is just to lower the Crown Authority, and I told them no. Don't tell me what to do. Help me, Serbia. We don't need another. There's already problems as it is. And help me, Holy Father, so I can hire some mercenaries. But if they ever take it to the capital, bear in mind, it's very fortified. It would take 3 years, if that war were to last long. Yeah, why not? So it'll take 30 days for everybody. So we're missing a chancellor and a steward. Don't you dare break out of independence. It's the next thing about you. So this is our best. You're looking for chancellor, not the marshal. You already have a good marshal. So our best one is my cupbearer and knight, who is an elderly, but still. And my steward is gonna have to be my brother. And plus, causes much reduction of the construction time. So it'll be done in 18 months. No doubt during the course of the war. As long as it doesn't get besieged. In addition, crud. Can't get another one of these. But when the going gets tough, invite some new knights. Because we already do have a couple of good fighters. Come on in. About to receive gold from the Holy Father himself. Praise Saint Matthew. Here comes the tax refund. Don't excommunicate me, whatever you do. Holy crud, 88 years old? Not just a healthy lifestyle and a medicine focus, but he's a spinach lover. He likes to eat spinach, and it's permanent. So that's the key to the Pope's longevity. Spinach. It's been around for nearly half a century. Okay, before we get on with this huge civil war, who is the current oldest person in the world? The current one is a Sogdian Muslim. A landed one. The Arg of Shagal. Yep. The world's oldest man is a Sogdian. What are the odds? So, he resides there, in Shagal, next door to the Armudaya, or what it's used to be known to the west as the Oxus. And yeah, he has made the pilgrimage to the house of Allah in Mecca, as he's a zealot, diligent, trusting man, but also a tad bit homosexual. But still, oldest man. You can't retitle histories of a barony title. It doesn't work like that. You ungrateful Bosnian, you! I gave you Verbosna, and this is how you repay me? And that goes for the rest of all of you. And that's the reason why we had to flee from Visegrad down to Crete. Like, if they want to get me, come down here. It's where we fight. Vassiliu of Serbia joins the war as a defender. Yeah, everything is under siege now. It does not appear they will go after me in Crete. We may have to go up to them and fight. But now we fear that there will be a war of independence between them because I did not give them any more titles, so. Hope you drop dead right before you even think about starting an independence war against me. So could this be the beginning of the decline of the Avar Khaganate? Of the Pannonian Avar Khaganate? Could this be the beginning of the end of this? We'll find the answer. Everybody's fully assembled. And it's possible... Well, that's totally random. When the going gets tough, like when we lose those other 3 vassals to threaten to fight for independence, then we may have to fight against them as well. But again, Serbia, you're my only friend in the world, while I will also learn your language. I wish I could tell you to stop that vassal war. Vassals claim from Pannonian. So I could say, hey, stop fighting against Serbia, because I need their help. If you don't stop, you know what's going to happen to you. It may not look like it's going to even the odds, but it'll have to do. Hope to goodness there ain't going to be mercenaries involved. So we have no choice but to set sail. But it's Nitra who is the leader of the war. So if I was you, land here. Oh, you forgot to select the armies. Because I would not dream of landing there and try to fight our way through all of this mess. But one thing, my family is safe. Visegrad is not the capital. But if the fighting goes to Crete, we'll be there. There are only very few places that is to be safe from reinforcements, but we fear that the areas of Peryaslava, Drakion, and Salzburg, these will not be safe havens. But unfortunately, this place might go too, so that area ain't safe there too. So Croatia is the safest place to be because it's only a child ruler. Attempted to stop the war. Here's your money. Shut your mouth. Stay loyal to me or there's going to be more trouble. And Drakion is not a safe place to land, so we only have one choice. To Croatia. So that means we have to go through there. So basically, okay, fine. What is the quickest way to Visegrad? The quickest way to Visegrad, as soon as you all get on board to the Aegean, you'll sail through the Messenian Sea to the Ionian Sea, Strait of Otranto, and then you're in the Adriatic. And then you will land in, what is this place called? Castle. Because Dalmatian, Croatia. Dalmatio Croatian. Other than you will Gachka. Gachka. And then you will walk through there. You'll cross through these narrow paths. And then you're into Visegrad. And then fight your way up to Nitra and capture that old man, because he's responsible for all this. So I don't know if when he dies the war ends, but I fear it might continue. But fortunately, we just finished the second curtain wall in Visegrad, so should they besiege Visegrad, it will take a very long time for them to besiege all that. So it's too late to start constructing the concentric castle as we continue to fortify Crete. So, ready? Set sail. Things are only going to get ugly from there. I have the utmost respect for your wishes, but the die is already cast. I will see the war to the end. How dare you defy me? These people are going to be punished for this. Huh. My rebellious vassal's been taken prisoner by my Serbian neighbor. Even though it's related to a different conflict. Trimming the dynasty. Ivan's very existence is an insult to the name of our glorious dynasty. My kinsman is an utter disappointment in everything that he tries to accomplish. Oh, don't do that. Son of Duke Ostro, which Ostro is one of the rebellious vassals from Baha. I'll just say we all have our shortcomings. We are landing here, and we're about to face the forces that are from Achaia. Impregnated my wife. Just landed. The rest will follow suit. Again, I'm not leading my armies because I ain't gonna come out there. The celebrations that come to an end in the evening's entertaining seemed over when Captain suggested a reading. The clerk soon arrives, wondering what the guests would like to hear. I see my chance to impress her. Well, she's only an antagonist. I think she would rather hear something entertaining. Riddle poems. As the clerk reads for us, she seems completely engrossed. She then approaches me. Good choice, Labertam, as she says, gently bites her lips. It was great, wasn't it? Everybody's assembled. "5 months or so, then War of Independence breaks out, further complicating matters. Those vassals are going to be punished for this. Left. Comorom is about to fall because I have not made much investments in the defenses of the area. They may take Pomorie because they do have the war target. Wish there was an invalid imprisonment for defying against me. Wish I had a hook on that boy. But I fear that No, the Independence War would already start before he even gets a chance to join. So Croatia will stay with us. So I want all armies together. Who's there? Another opportunity for them to conquer us. So Labertam. Now that area is one of the rebellious vassals areas, so I'm not terribly worried about that one right now because of the distance. And fighting in the Avarian homeland is more important. So I dare you come to Crete. Come and get me. They're gonna try to assemble together, which is not good. Because they have so many knights with them. A horde of disjointed pirates, landless freemen, desperate lust of children, not a sword miscreants have joined Sunne in his proposed assault against my holdings. Though the size of the force is formidable, they lack discipline or loyalty. If each squadron's mercenary focused exclusively on what they can get out of the war, first and foremost. Unlike a conventional foe, it might be possible to simply deal with the invaders. Perhaps a bargain could be struck. I'd rather fight him an old-fashioned way. Every single piece of territory must not be given up. They're going to continue to assemble together, which is no good to nobody. But since they are attacking us, too bad I can't afford the piety for that. Well, I could go on a pilgrimage to get more piety, but that still ain't going to be enough. And money is better spent elsewhere. Serbia isn't going to help us. Croatia's costing us. And the Northmen will be going after an area that I no longer have personal control over. I mean, not personal, but no longer have control over because it's being rebelled. And I'm sure there's going to be other countries to take advantage of this. Heck, this could be Egypt's time to invade Crete. Which, good luck with that, because it's heavily fortified. It may have some advantage. But, you know what, screw it, I'll lead. I just need to get out of Crete, so that way, in case if they do besiege Crete, that I at least need to... Everybody's an average, Joe. Need good commanders. Those that are still with me. So what does it look like should we fight against them? We'll probably win, but it's a river crossing, unfortunately. Because we're crossing through here. Instead, head through there. We'll figure out the supply issues sooner rather than later. Oh God, no. Defending a river crossing, battle's about to begin and we're just right behind it. This is definitely going to cost us. You went in there prematurely. And now you're bringing everybody over here. Fighting in plains. They got horse archers, but more reinforcements are on the way, but I am not sure what the hell's going to happen next. Plus, she's one of the best commanders out of all of us that's present. Please hold the line. We are arriving. Reinforcements are here. They have more knights than us. But again, have to be there for this. More cavalry will be coming, and some good fighters too. Especially this old Estonian berserker. Who knows if our berserker friend here will rip some heads off. Despite the tense battle, so servants have all been sent away in our beds, decorated with seashells. As Khatun enters our chamber, she smiles lustfully and joins me without any hesitation. With the helps of hands, mouths, and limbs, we reaffirm the devotion we swore before God, perhaps in a more carnal fashion than intended. As we are united in marriage, now we are united in heart. You will be the only lover. Don't lust for anyone else. Just me and me only. We're outnumbered here. This isn't good. We're taking more casualties than they are. Oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. Get out of there. We don't stand a chance. To Visegrad. Now where are you going? To Viden. That place is rebellious. It's not safe haven. Horrific defeat on our part. It's not yet. Very little. Now Visegrad is under siege. They hired mercenaries as well. That's another thing about these bastards. I inherited Bosna. So Count Boric died in captivity. So the land is mine again. Alright. So we rectified that mistake. And then there's the army of Bosna, which is to join us. Thank you, Serbia, for getting rid of my Bosnian vassal, whom I appointed and later friggin' betrayed me because of the Liberty faction and all that. And I'm really hesitant about spending my money on mercenaries. But bearing in mind, we killed plenty of them, but these are replaceable losses. Ours takes longer to recover. As I'm trying to think in my head. They just had way more horse archers, way more horsemen, and pikemen to counter my said cavalry. Whereas we're horribly outnumbered. So we may have to hire mercenaries. And I'm not going to get any more money out of this. And what of Nitra? They're going to last longer. Perhaps if you want to win the war, go straight to Nitra. Remember, you're not losing your vassals, it's just they tell you to lower your crown authority. That's what's at stake here. And you decide to be ignorant and just say, all of you must behave. And look where it got me. And now we got a Northman invasion that's going to take a piece of land out of that, but don't worry about that too much. You can get it back at any given time when you start a holy war against them. Just to show them who's boss. We can get back at them at any time. Because that part I'm willing to lose. Any of these lands that are still loyalist, go get mercenaries. But the issue is everything's expensive. This may sound like a good idea, because these crossbowmen here, which we do not have yet, although they're of some size, the hoplites of Laconia, which sounds like a Spartan thing, but still, they got crossbowmen, which is good against heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, and horse archers, a perfect counter for that. So, I'm willing to risk it all. Stay here, which you will be joined with the main army soon, but I fear that sooner or later we're going to be running out of supplies, and they'll run out of theirs as well, due to assembling this big army, which they are already going to take Visegrad before we even have a chance to get there. God damn it! Move up! Bosna can stay behind. We need to get back at him again. And if we lose one more battle, war's over. Call surrender. Those are my terms. I will not be threatened either. I will not allow them. But unfortunately, there will be some desertions. 643 levies of them that disband due to said civil war. Now nowhere is safe. And those goddamned Croats. Never thought I would be blaming them. My own vassal. For preventing Serbia from helping me out. That means Visegrad has fallen. Neves could be next. Oh God, no. Hope for a son in the future. Visegrad has fallen. Which is the most heavily fortified place around there. Defending a river crossing. Can't tire you. As much as I like to spend my money, but more will continue to assemble. What if we go through here? That's not a river crossing, so we'll take the long way round. Even ground, no river crossing. Okay, what about the other long way round? Through there. or you'll be in Östergård, which there might be a chance to save it, because we would have the defensive advantage. No, 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 better idea. Not like that. Yeah, swing around. If we have the supplies for it. Defensive advantage, no river crossing. To Karaton. I could kill some of them right now, as long as they keep them back away. Now where they're going? Halt! It would be better to flee to the hills, or flee to heavens, but it doesn't matter where now. It's going to be a large battle, and it's not going to be good. Advantage them, because they got sheer numbers behind them, and it's just only us here. They figured it out. Even if we press on... Oh, hang on. Battle begins in 7 days. And the rest of us... I mean, we'll all be out of there by then. These are the armies who's moving our luck. July 1st. In 7 days. Well, we could try to get back here. We'll probably win, but... more numbers behind. We'll be able to get away from them for the time being while we kill a few. Okay, we got them. The movement's locked, so this may delay them. Keep your hopes up. Because fortunately, this is an advantage in the plains, but unfortunately, enemy defensive advantage lowered. This man, Duke of the Abra Duchy. Man's from it would be better to take it to the hills or take it to Heves for some defensive advantage, but we know it's catching their attention right now, and no help from Serbia whatsoever. You're gonna have to accept the fact that you're on your own. And here comes enemy reinforcements. Just hold what you can. We're about to get outnumbered again, and this will not be good for any of us. Nope, no good. Get out of there. Treat us to go. She went to wandering. Galicia Vonia. So Khagan was killed in action. My brother. Peter Michel's where was from. They were killed in action. Who killed him? Killed by him. Causes for casualties, but again, these are replaceable losses for them. I don't think we can win that war. That means we have to retreat down there again. It would have been more humiliating had we stayed at Visegrad, but Crete is safe, and we'll have to lower the Crown Authority. So we should stop beating the heck out of each other. We should save our strength, and no doubt when they get back with us, everybody will be more happy and more loyal to us by giving us levies. And all that. Because I'd rather keep these, wasteland. But as for... Alright, this can be sacrificed. We severely underestimated them. Manya's allied to Croatia. Which is partly the reason why they weren't able to help us out in such a way that would be meaningful. You know what? Surrender to them. Remember, when you surrender, there goes that prestige. You'll get a high crown authority, which is still fine. And they all get weak hooks on me, which is the biggest penalty I would get from them. That means they'll be asking for things, gotta modify their contracts, they want to be on the council and all that. No reason to drag this war on. Just gotta fight the independence faction now. It's just we are horribly outnumbered. Yeah, I know. Your crown authority is reduced to 1 step and you owe every faction member a favor. We'll get back at these guys soon. So for now, assemble at Bahar, split our forces up to resupply, and as well as to resupply and get new levies and some new knights that we've hired, or those who are skilled enough. Lost a lot of good men. Some of our allied combatants got captured. Captain of the Hopley Test of Axis. And Jay, and he's about to die too. Man, I am sorry, everybody. I was too ignorant. So for now, everybody assemble at Bihar, and then we'll figure out what we do against this independence faction led by Peryaslavo. Your great appetites are renowned throughout the world. I've been a good vassal to you, and I understand I have subjects of my own too. My current contract is very restrictive. Surely you would see the wisdom of making it more lenient. And besides, you do owe me. Religiously protected. Remains orthodox. Fine. Okay. Lower taxes. Yeah, everybody's going to get what they want, alright? Sure nobody wants a position on the council? It's open. Use your favor. But until then, if you want to stay loyal, I'll give it to you. You'll get what you want. Okay. This isn't a too well-developed province. Here. Hey, get over here. They can assemble here for resupply. I'll be out here. You will be positioned behind me. You'll be up there. And these two remain here. While we will assemble some vassals that have not yet been called for. Around here. Raise all here. For all the remaining ones that rejoined the Khaganate. And Alchemist reached the vital bat guano as the page looked on in fear, and suddenly I'm interrupted by a fuming Mayor Jaromir. Did you just call my beloved father a bore and a fornicator? He screams. I demand recompenses for the grievous insults. Perhaps my Italian vulgar needs more practice. You misheard. I called him a charming Lionheart. I triggered him into thinking that I flattered his father. Split. I want you to go back there. Both of you. I want everybody resupplied before we face the armies up there. Because they're all going to get together. Because they always stick together. Well, meanwhile, well, again, they want the video. That's the main objective, but they want to start working up there. We do have 12 knights. Oh, thing next time. At least we won't lose as much money, especially that our court positions are empty. Everybody resupplied? Almost full. We'll start marching in April. Or so. And then we are to meet them over there. But this time we have the numerical advantage over them. Since the Khaganate is willing to work with us again as a whole. Because of that misunderstanding. That we severely underestimated them. In more ways than one. And of course, I gotta do something with that. Since my brother got killed. And I'm sure he'll admit his guilt. So what is it? Religiously protected. The Orthodox as well. And of course, they must have heard of my plans about my eventual, telling everybody to convert to Orthodoxy or else. So let's all head up there together. we'll deal with them, and then after that we may deal with the Northmen as well, now that there's time. And nobody's gone after Crete. And when all the dust is settled, then we'll start making money again. And then we'll have to start a new era. Died in captivity. At least that's the one guy we captured in action during all these actions. So I gave her a pardon. We ain't calling Serbia on that one, based on how everything that went. But Serbia is still dealing with internal problems. Pomoria is now under our control due to Croatia. Serbia's just joining other people's wars now. So they're on their way up, and so are we. We have the hills and the defensive buildings advantage. I'm here. What have I got myself into? As the battle rages on, I find myself in the midst of a small pocket of close quarters combat. With the help of my men, we smashed the opposition with ease. Not ease. But the focus of the attention was on me, who miraculously escaped the fight without a scratch. Whilst I did manage to get some hits on the enemies, I soon lost my focus, and I had to be helped multiple times as the enemies began to swarm me. As I take a second to catch my breath after the attack, I noticed some of my soldiers looking on in disappointment after a particularly miserable show of prowess. I'm normally better, I swear. It's just not one of my days. My Chancellor cannot be fired. 25 years. But at least you gain a level of fame despite the whole situation. Where is the capital of them? Oh yeah, way up there. Crud. That means we ought to deal with the Northmen sooner or later. And the Duke lives there. Head to there, capture the capital, and then the war's over. So I have to go through Bulki, Khorasan Cave, and then you'll meet there. And after that, then you deal with the Northmen. I guess we'll be able to keep our territories. Every single part of it. Even though we'll be taking quite a chest damage. Now what? Coinage rights granted. That's different. That means less development growth for me, while the vassal gets more development growth on his realm capital. Watch again, he's from Dona. We go north, they go south. You what? Oh, wait a minute, the old man's dead. Okay. Old age. I see. Low levy contribution from her. Matters little. Got our siege weapons. 3 months. Yeah. Hopefully we'll capture the leader. As I'm visiting a village in my domain in Chios. It is unique compared to the other villages on the island because it is tradition here for the walls of the many buildings to be decorated in a variety of geometric designs and motifs. For many, it turns the whole place into a work of art. I would say it's fine, but I've seen more impressive artwork. At least in Crete. Is my daughter any better? She's just quick-minded. Still would like to have another son. So you would... Sarante. Just hope for a son with better genetics. Oh, we'll definitely beat him in a race when we kill them all. Excuse me. Hopefully we capture the leader who's residing there. If not, war continues and things get uglier from there. Nope. Captured some prisoners, but not any of the important ones. Nope. It's Arsenios of Drakion who is the leader. Crud. Crud, crud, crud. So that means if you want to win the war, you must go down to Drakion. So what the hell are we doing up here for? But hey, at least we took some prisoners that will definitely give us some of that ransom. Well, one you can only do. Some money just to keep it going. Now let's go deal with the Northmen. We'll be there in 16 days before that place falls. Or you can start running. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. It's my shield maiden who's in charge of the battle. The spy master. Stick with me. All that siege progress those Norsemen made, well, we're here to finish it. There's some loot with that. Okay, we will attack them, and then we'll start moving down towards... Oh, no, defeat their armies. It's another way to jump the war score up more. Defeat their armies that are still down there, and then war will be over. But we'll finish this one first. That's one. Crossing through some unfriendly territory. There, Nitra, you'll get what you want, you bastard. You know, you were the guy that used that hook to get yourself into the council position. Guess what? You've been imprisoned. And that means I get new chancellor. So, sound foundations. And I will become patriarch soon. Should have been a diplomat off the start. .63% war score, but now the enemies are getting away. Split up. Majority of you, stay. And try to take this territory back. The others will go on. Peasant uprising, different issue. Wait, which one's the siege weapons? We're already on the move. I need to send them back. Rooks. Today, I received word that a large number of rooks, those birds that closely resemble crows, have grown large in numbers in Rhodos. Enough that it may warrant a response from me as the authority of in this land. For some, such a phenomenon is a good omen, because the birds said to prefer living those near kind and generous dispositions. Others argue that the bird is an agricultural pest and should be taken care of immediately. Let the birds stay. If they bring good luck, why refuse it? In the past, even today, rooks have had a myriad of sometimes contradictory superstitions surrounding them. For some, they were good omens if they struck around where one lived, but this could quickly turn into a bad omen if they left. Regardless, they were considered a major agricultural pest. In England, for example, an Act of 1533 mandated that every parish had to keep nets for catching them, and it was permissible to trespass on someone's land to destroy rooks if permission had previously been asked for and refused. We're engaging. We're about to engage him again. Stop moving. Send it back. Because they're in the middle of a siege. Captured Duke Arsenios. He was there. Alright. Thank goodness this problem is over. We've averted a major crisis. Although, you win some, you lose some. And then gain some dread along with that. Boy, I would love to revoke your titles as punishment. I don't know who to give it to you, but I would punish you for that. Wish I could punish all of them that rebelled against me, but can't do that now, can I? Throughout this whole period, we captured this dagger and this bronze-plated mail. So thank goodness we can all go home now. Don't know about leaving Crete. But all that good money, wasted. All of this. I mean, we could have had this. Defender advantage, attacker advantage, all that. We could have had those, but we just couldn't afford it. Could have, would have, should have. But it matters not now. It's all in the past. Yeah, throughout this entire time, we're still trying to get this island under control. And those mercenaries you've hired, 8 months left in their contract, we'll let them go. So, that's what happened. We only lowered the crown authority, which we can't get that back up again, because that made people angry. And but we do know that there's still plenty of haters around here, but I should continue on with the diplomacy route. I'll be a patriarch, and then we'll switch to majesty, but I would only use diplomat for these things. Just do anything to keep these vassals in line. But there are other ways to keep vassals loyal to you, and that is be an administrator, which I do not use that very often. But you know what, I think that's going to be the characteristic for this character. He's going to be a patriarch, a diplomatic kind of man, and also an administrator. Less of a military man. It's just the lessons he has learned. And these were hard lessons. Hard lessons of how to keep a country together without it breaking it all apart. And this entire time, he's still trying to learn Italian. Since he's reached the ears of Count Dragos, as he's a native speaker, he's offered to help me in my studies. Ask no more token of my reward for my efforts, Khagan. So, Dragos is not a Sicilian name. He was Serbian, but he became Sicilian because of his liege. Plus, he's from Punginia. Used to hold Punginia. No, he is Punginia. You're thinking of Pomore, which is the area that we now hold. What I'll say? Oh, you're so selfless. Offering help for free. I cajole them into helping me. And me being not familiar with some of the realm's languages was another issue. just this whole fighting and the Civil War and all that was just a misunderstanding. Just a whole misunderstanding that we hope that time will heal all wounds. Yes, you may come in, take the knee, so we can get that grandeur back up. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Italian Vulgate language. Endless hours practicing excitation, sleepless nights, mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering annotation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate Count Basiliu's accent. I'm sure he would be impressed by my results. And of course, the Sicilian peasants now respect me a great deal more. Perhaps just send a letter in Italian Vulgate to him. I impress him with my knowledge of Italian Vulgate. It's because he was irritable. Or what else? Learn Serbo-Croatian. But look at the domain limit. It's 13 now. Which means I will keep Peremischel for a time being. Oh! Twins! This one and Khagan. I guess we'll have to accept the fact that everybody's gonna be quick. Wouldn't name him Khagan. Just think of it. What the son of a... Oh, I got it. Chat. That's what it's called. Sarah and Chat. Khagan Chat. Can you imagine that? Well, unfortunately, he isn't going to be as smart as he once was unless... I mean, I'm going to have a lot of children. That's what I intend. I'm going to be the man with a lot of children as a patriarch. Since you're going to keep that fertility. And the house opinion of everybody here, even within this Khaganate, they'll respect me a little more. And I will try to be respectful to everybody. I will try to be... make the vassals like me a little more. And then I'll switch to stewardship and be even more of an administrator. Yeah. That's going to be my future. Trappings of Majesty. I stand above my subjects as sovereign ruler, unequaled in the realm. Unequaled in more ways than one. Dressed in a part with resplendent garments, a jewelry would serve as a subtle reminder to everyone that I am in charge. Local fashions of symbolic meaning. Just wear the traditional ones. Impressive outfit inspired by local customs. You'll gain some diplomacy lifestyle experience with this. I acquire an outfit fit for a Khagan. And we no longer have to pay the contract for the Hoplites of Naxos. Nine months. We'll end the episode as soon as I get Patriarch. Of course, I'd like to continue to improve the economy by building more of these kind of buildings. The first time it happened, I barely even get a moment's thought about my vassal duchess. It has grown bolder Her challenges no longer pass unnoticed among my vassals. She is testing my limits. The others are sure to follow, unless I give her a taste of her own medicine. Scholar and the theologian. Commenting on her ample curves will throw her off. So my guess is I'll have to been objectified due to her appearance. Stupid thing to say, but still. Lewd jokes, lingering looks, interrupting her to compliment her generous rear. Little by little, I have broken the Duchess down, running her tense self-guns. Now she remains quite ice castable. Cruel, perhaps? That had to be done. Oh, she's a clan vassal. You can't change the contract. And what the hell am I going to do with that? She hasn't done anything criminal yet. You know what you should be doing in free time in case rebellion breaks out again? Start befriending people. You have the ability to make friends. Why didn't you do that early on in the reign, and we could have prevented all of this? But there are just some things that aren't meant to be. Once you get the development up to 10, then develop on this side of Crete. Okay, I might move back to Visegrad sooner or later. Check the court grandeur. Well, since we make a lot more money these days, I may have to increase the thing, but I may do that in the next episode. Some people say I have the kind of attitude that prevents me from properly enjoying life. Maybe I should stop being so prudish. Am I really a killjoy? Maybe they have a point. I would rather loosen up, so because others told them that they are too uptight, this person decided to let loose a little. However, this is what their true identity is like, or they're just feeling pressure to be what they are not. Here it is. You're not a patriarch. And since you're more prestige intensive these days, you're going to switch to majesty focus, but I'm not going to do all of this. As much as I would like to, but after learning the lessons from the Liberty War, I think it's better to be thoughtful, have defensive negotiations and embassies and adaptive traditions, and after that switch to go for administration. So don't know if I want domain focus or duty focus, but either or, you're gonna get what you want. We'll end the episode in January. Actually, 1 second. One little court event. Gala Knight. The old Estonian knight. My knight has excelled during our recent battles, and my court is buzzing with excitement. What an accomplished knight. What a role model. What a man. With all the praise raining down on him, it is made clear that I am expected to officially reward him in some manner. He'll serve as my personal champion. And we'll hold court in the next episode. Yes, we will stop right here. We'll hold court again, and we'll start making decisions that relates to Chios. Yeah, Chios is that island over there, not the mainland part. That's what I was trying to point out there. Since it's nearly fully under control. Again, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And that is why, in my future, as I've said many times, I am here to keep this country together from breaking apart again. We learned a hard lesson, and we wanted to make sure that doesn't ever happen again. Yeah, you'll be free. Just give me your money and I'll be sure to spend it wisely. But if you ever form a faction against me, whatever it is, let's be friends. Because I gotta start befriending people in the next episode to pass time on all that. So we hope you people have enjoyed this. Not so good of an episode to me as far as winning battles concerned, but we still held on to territories that we have under control. It's just we only gave them what they want, and we sure did. It's just they dogpiled on me. We don't have a military man anymore. And all that. He's just a man of diplomacy. He can fight, but he's not a good commander. So, let's just hope things will be better for the future and all that. So, hope you people watch the next episode. Till then, so long for now.